How do you take care of your responsibilities that you have today while still prioritizing the life that you want to have in the future? Because the truth is that if you're not careful, you're going to spend too much time in one of those buckets, dreaming about the future and hoping and waiting and wishing, just thinking of all the great things you're going to have and all the great things you want. Or you're going to be so focused on now, head down, work hard, do the stuff, grind, 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 the day in, the day out, and your life is looking good right now because you're taking care of everything right now. But if you're not careful, you're not going to have the life that you want, because just putting your head down and working doesn't actually get you to where you want to go. It kind of takes care of who you are now, and it does get you to where you want to go in a sense, but it's not going to bring you all the way there. You have to have a vision, you have to have clarity, and you have to be doing things differently today that are not just the day to day to take care of today, to become the person that you want to be in the future and to have the life that you want to have in the future. And so like what I mean by that is maybe that there's personal development that needs to happen. And if you're just so focused on taking care of your clients today and putting everything in today, well, you don't really have time for the personal development, or you don't have time for the networking that's required to meet the type of people that you one day want to be in business with, or that you one day want to be in relationships with. So we need to prioritize both. And I think that going into 2026, it's a great conversation for all of us to sit down and have with ourselves, and to look at our calendar and to think, how are we splitting our time between today's responsibility and the life we have today, and making sure we're taking care of that, taking care of our current clients, taking care of our current business, our current relationships, our responsibilities at home, while also still planning for the future. Time to get into the rooms that we need to be in, to be around the people that we want to surround ourselves with, because they have the kind of life that we want to have one day. Being around those people is very important, and finding the time to be around those people, to get into that room, to create that room, to build that community, to find the community, plug yourself in, however you want to go about it, is really important, right? Maybe it's the personal development books, the podcasts as well that you need to listen to. Maybe it is learning a new skill in your business because you want your business to one day be more, let's say, virtual or online. I say that because I think that that's the way, right? Like there's always this human connection. There's always this personal part, especially if you're in real estate. But I think that the goal is to eventually be able to be more hands off and either have a team with boots on the ground, or, really thinking about how technology is going to change things and be ready and be prepared for that, and to dream big and not limit yourself just geographically or whatever because of how your business looks today, right? So if we're not dreaming about what that looks like and how do we develop the skills and the people, the support, and all of those things, we're not necessarily going to get there. And if we do get there, it's going to take a lot longer and it's going to be a lot harder. So I think going into 2026, it's an important conversation to have with ourselves. And so I just wanted to get on here. I just came back from the gym, but I wanted to film this quickly while it's still fresh in my mind, while I was thinking about it, because I was listening to Tony Robbins speaking in an interview, and he mentioned this idea of the two businesses. And I just thought, you know what, that actually goes into your whole life. It's not just business. So one way that I want to implement this moving forward, to make sure that I'm careful of the balance, because I can find myself in different seasons of my life being so focused on now that I don't even let myself dream about the future. I don't even let myself get excited about the future. And then I find myself in different seasons where I'm just so in love with my future that I'm not necessarily doing all of the things I need to do today. So I want to talk about how we can find that balance and schedule that out for next year, so that you don't find yourself in that trap, and so that I don't find myself in that trap, and so that we both have a really good 2026. So some things that I'm going to be personally doing, and I encourage you to do as well, is I'm going to make a list of all of the things that I want to personally achieve in my business in 2026. And those are the things that I know that I'm responsible for working on day in and day out in 2026, because I want to achieve those things in the current real life time. Because in a few weeks, it's going to be 2026. And so it will no longer be a future goal or a future vision. It'll be the real life day-to-day work that I'll have to be doing. And I'm going to make a list of all of my current responsibilities, the responsibilities that I'm going to continue to have in 2026. Being there for my family, maintaining my home, right? There's things outside of my business. Continuing to prioritize my health, continuing to go to the gym, continuing to do those things. I'm going to make a list of all of those things. And then I'm going to make a list of the skills that I want to develop for the future business that I want to have. Now, I already have my big dream vision But if you don't have your vision first, you really need to create that. So I would say first you need to make your list of today, and then allow yourself to dream with no strings attached about what you want your future to look like. And then think about the skills, the relationships, the things that you need to start working on to make that a reality, and write those down. For me, there's going to be some personal development in there, prioritizing time to read certain books, to go to certain networking, to put myself in different rooms, right? Those are things that I know are going to be on my list. You can think about what those are going to be for you. Maybe it's education, maybe it's courses, maybe it's coaching, maybe it's, I don't know. You'll know once you have your vision. So write those down and then think about how your week is typically going to look, and start finding times in your week or in your days where you know you're going to be able to prioritize the now and the future. And this way you can find that balance, because it is so critical. And if we're not careful, we do find ourselves going back and forth. And I think it's really important, and we can go a lot further if we can integrate the two together and be mindful of that. And also, Tony brought up this idea on the podcast of having fun now, today. And some of us, if you're a very overachiever, high achiever, we get so focused on who we want to be and what we want to become and what we want to achieve that we kind of forget to enjoy where we're at today. So if that's you, if you find yourself forgetting to enjoy the journey, you can add that into your journal, to your notebook, to your dashboard. Like I have a business dashboard that I go to every day. And so I'm going to put a couple of reminders and quotes there, because I know when I go into my computer, I'm going to see that every day. So if you have a place that you go every day, a whiteboard in your office, a notebook that you open, maybe it's just your phone, your screens, you can put some of those reminders to remember to just enjoy the journey. Okay, guys, that's it from me. I'm sorry I keep touching my screen. I'm filming it on my phone. The phone keeps cutting out. But I just wanted to get this out there because I think that it's something we sometimes forget about and we don't always think about. If you want to have some help clarifying your vision for your future, I have a link below. It's all about planning your freedom future, whatever that looks like to you. Freedom is not this magical thing. It's not a thing where you have no responsibilities, but freedom is living the life that you love and living a life that fulfills you, and being able to do that because your business, because your life allows you to do that. So if you want help putting the pieces together or figuring out your vision, then book a call with me below, because not only can I help you with your vision, but if you already have your vision, we can talk about creative ways to think outside the box, to strategize, to actually get you there. And there's nothing more that I would love than to help you get there, because as I am coming through my journey of pivoting in business and finding my way, I found that all along I have been building towards my vision of freedom. And I'm so grateful for that, because as my family continues to explore potentially living abroad, I'm realizing that all of the decisions that I've made in my business have been so intentional, even subconsciously, to bring me to this place, because I always knew what I wanted and I always had that vision. And that's leading to my life and my idea of freedom. And even today, before I've achieved the full goal, I still feel so at peace with the fact that I'm able to do the things that were of high value to me, like dropping my kids off at school every day, or being there for the Christmas concert. This week we have a Christmas concert and I can go and I don't need to ask anybody for a day off. I don't need to worry about my schedule. And so having that to me means freedom. So if you're trying to find that, let's talk, book a call with me below. And I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.